Welcome back to the Best Start Guide, guys. It is day 148, I think, and it's proof of concept day. It is time to get onto, I don't know why this didn't open. Yeah, it's day 148, so it is time to get on top of the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss. I've been putting this off long enough. I haven't been putting it off. I mean, it's been put off by the slowness of the game. Oh, and this actually reminds me. There is one more champion that I wanted to add to the Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss team. So here's the plan in a nutshell. We're going to use Wixwell to create the shields and extend the shields and extend all the buffs, thus extending the shields. And we're going to keep that going with Malkith, who can also increase the duration of all the buffs on a 3-turn cooldown, and with Valerie, who can also increase the buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. And unfortunately, I don't actually have enough books yet for Vault Keeper Wixwell to get this going on a 3-turn cooldown. Come to think of it, I might be able to, because no, I don't. You need 5 books, and they need to land in the exact right spot. So I'm going to keep trying to get books any way that I can. But in the meantime, I'm going to put him in a reflex set to try to increase the chance of his cooldowns. And I'll do that with all 3 buff extenders, come to think of it, if it's possible. I don't actually know if we have the gear for that. But first, let's go over the event that I just finished. We got the Wixwell path. I ran this on RSL Helper. And RSL Helper has been amazing because basically last time I did a video, I promised you guys that toward the end, whatever was left, I'd pull shards to get the remaining points. I didn't have to pull any shards. I got this all from Champ Training. I basically came down this line here, got the first 4 keys, and then unlocked my way down, claimed the 5-star Wixwell. Actually, at a certain point, I only had an odd number of keys, so I had to come down this side, unlock 1 more lock to get this last double key. And then I had enough keys to get the 5-star blessing. And then I had just enough so that I could get the avatar as well. So now I have a nice little Wixwell avatar. I think it kind of rounds out this best start guide account really well, because I think Wixwell is going to end up being the most defining member of the account in the end game. You could say like maybe Kale kind of defined the really early game, and very quickly we then got Xeno, Grey Blade Master. Sun Wukong was a pretty strong defining factor of this account as well. But now we got Wixwell, and all's well that Wixwell, or at least I hope so. So I don't have the masteries yet. I'm slowly working away on those. Basically, what I've got is I've got a I have a 2-man team. It's basically these 3. They work well together on their own. So these 3 are training up the others. I don't have to train them up at the same time. It actually kind of slows stuff down to train up all 3 of them, but it's better for experience. This way I can be sure to max out all 3 of them. Because the way the experience gets divided when you finish a Minotaur fight, you get more experience per member, although they're already all level 50s. So it probably isn't going to matter too much if I did them one at a time now. They'd probably still all reach level 60. I'm just going to grab this stuff because I don't like seeing all these little red dots everywhere telling me there's an update here, there's an update there, there's an update everywhere, an update, you know, like the old McDonald's song goes. And the Altar of Souls, anything good? The reason that I got the idea to use, I actually haven't talked about the other 2 that I want to use in the clan boss team. All right, so we have buff extender, buff extender, buff extender, right? Then we're going to need 2 DPS units, and I'm pretty sure I want to use Xeno, Grey Blade Master just because she's so good at bosses. This isn't going to be different. She is going to have to switch out of Relentless. So we're going to have to change this around, and that's too bad because she's been so good in Relentless. I could even try somebody else at first and leave her in the Relentless for now, just to do a proof of concept team. Somebody else can act as the the DPS. I could even just use Kale. Honestly, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. He's got 160 speed. I mean, basically, as long as they don't extend past the buffs. So we need to make sure the speeds of the 3 buff extenders are the same. So if Wixwell goes at 150, these two have to go at 150. Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss runs at a speed of 190, and the Nightmare Clan Boss runs at a speed of 170. So ideally, we want to go to 1-to-1 ratio, so I'm going to run them at somewhere between 170 and 190. That's the plan for today. So you're going to watch me build these champions today. Some of you have been asking for a champion building guide. This is all going to be about building the champion. It's going to take a while. I promise it won't take more than an hour from this very moment, because I want to have lunch with my girlfriend at 12 noon, which is an hour from now. But I am going to build out this clan boss team, and then I'm going to run it, because right now, I mean, I got the 2 keys burning a hole in my pocket. I haven't run my clan boss keys today, and I woke up late. I woke up late with a raid hangover. Because even though RSL Helper really helped get through this event, and while I'm thinking of it, this disappears in 18 hours. I should just grab some of this stuff, eh? We got 2,700. What would be useful? I mean, I can't get anything from the bottom. We got to get the cheap stuff. So this is 800 points worth of stuff. This is 1,700 points worth of stuff. This is 1,000. This would be 1,800. You know what? I'm definitely gonna grab this stuff. I want these Mortal Soul coins. They're always valuable, and I don't run the Iron Twins nearly enough. I'm gonna take the essences, or the extract. That's what this stuff is. Because it is hard for me to get that stuff as well. I haven't even started tackling Shogun. I guess that's the next thing for me to do. And I could grab this and either the gems or the core hammers. The gems are probably more universal, so I'll just grab those. And that's it. So there, I feel like I'm not wasting any of the hard work that RSL Helper did for me. I got a little carried away. I mean, look at this. I've got so many maxed out 3-star champions left over, and I don't, if I go to the instant rank up, I guess I do have enough to make some of them. But I got a little carried away. So I probably shouldn't have too much trouble maxing out the 5th unit that I want to put in, which is this guy. Let's see if I can get the right screen for him. It is Corpulent Cadaver, and he has a very interesting A1. Attacks one enemy, inflicts additional damage if this champion is under a shield buff. The additional damage is equal to 30% of the value of the shield and cannot exceed 200k. So here's the thing. This guy used to be able to do just like millions of damage per hit. I think some of the content creators were getting him to do 2 million damage per hit. Those are the old days. You can't do that anymore, unfortunately. But I think he's still going to be one of the best DPSs, because even just 200k getting added to the damage, that's still very extreme. If you think about what I'm doing with, say, the other DPS, which is going to be Xeno Gray, probably, or Rathalos. It'd be one or the other. With Xeno Gray, we've got Brimstone, and Brimstone comes in with, I don't know if it lists the actual damage amount here, but on Clan Boss, every turn that you hit with Brimstone is 250,000 damage. So basically, Corpulent Cadaver has a built-in extra bit of damage that can equal Brimstone, but isn't Brimstone, so you can stack them. You can have him using his attack, and you can have her using her Brimstone, and it's still going to add up to a lot. And really, the goal isn't necessarily to do millions and millions of damage per turn. It's just to stay in long enough to be able to do the threshold damage, which is 70.3 million, right? 70.28 million. This is the goal. So the goal is to see if we can do this today. We probably can't, because again, what I need is I need all the masteries for all of them. But I don't even have enough gems to just straight up purchase them anymore. In the last episode, I think I had 7,000 that I intended to dip into to complete the champion training stuff so that I could get Wixwell his 5-star awakened soul. And come to think of it, let's give him his soul. So there's not a lot left, but the savings really paid off. So this is why I say, save your gems. You never know when you're going to need a big cache of gems to do a big push towards something big. And I'd say having a 5-star Wixwell is huge. So the blessing for him, and I'm gonna work on an assumption here, because last episode I said I probably wanted to give him Brimstone, but seeing is I'm probably likelier to land Brimstone Xenogray anyway, because she's got 3 hits on her A1, she has 4 hits on her A2, and she has 4 hits on her A3, and every time she gets a hit, she gets a chance at a Brimstone. It's a 15% chance. Whereas it's a single 50% chance with a 5-star blessing on Wixwell. And he'd get 2 of them anytime he hits with his A1, and he is counterattacking. But there is another blessing that I've been considering now. And that blessing is Cruelty. Because with Cruelty, you can decrease the target's defense by 2% per hit, up to 30% for champions and up to 15% for bosses. So I'm basically taking the clan boss defense and permanently reducing it by a whole 15%. And there's really no other way to stack this. So if I put this blessing on any other champion, it would have to be an epic that has 5 stars. And I mean, I suppose I could bring Eastrid and have her do it. That's not a bad idea, come to think of it. So maybe I should consider bringing Eastrid as one of my clan boss champions, just because she's the other one that has a 5-star blessing. And right now I've given her the Intimidating Presence, which is not necessarily a super strong blessing. I'm kind of thinking the strongest blessing on her, especially if I use her a lot in Arena, is Polymorph, just because of how strong it currently is. They are going to nerf Polymorph at some point, I think. They've said they're going to nerf Polymorph again. They're still not happy with Polymorph. But for now, it's still really, really crazy strong. That actually brings me to the missions. I finally managed to get through all of the missions that required me to fully ascend a champion from each affinity. So now I'm finally into the arena missions where I just have to do tons and tons of arena. It occurs to me I probably should do that since I'm kind of filling up again. I'll just do a couple of them if you'll forgive me. I want to stay on top of this because we want to push for that Arbiter. Arbiter could be huge. Arbiter could be used on a clan boss. Although again, we got Eastrid, and Eastrid largely replaces Arbiter. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I am going to push at least to get Arbiter. That is a nice, worthy end goal of this account. So I'm going to run it for 6 months and get Shield of the Drakes. We're probably still not going to have Drexthar Blood Twin because I constantly forget to get fragments for Drexthar Blood Twin. I don't know, maybe you players out there, if you want to make sure to get Drexthar in a timely manner, maybe set yourself an alarm or something so that you know the exact time each day that you need to go for it. So he's in the Tag Arena Bazaar. So here's yet another fragment. How close are we? So as you can see, I spent no shards, and I actually have a nice little cache of them. Ooh, there's a summon pool. And I do apologize for how distractible I am. This is just this is a thing I live with. I have ADHD. I'm sorry. I just want to see what champions are in. So we got Wallmaster Othorion again, eh? He's a neat champion. So I don't know what we have to do to get enough. Well, I guess we need 30 for this. Geomancer would be another completely OP champion to acquire for Clan Boss. There must be a tournament going on right now for it. Fire Knight Turn Attack. I guess that's probably it. I don't know that we have a particularly good team for this. And it's not this. That's interesting. I wonder what we have to do to get it. Is it the coming Tag Arena tournament? Is there an event going on right now? Maybe it's champion training. It's champion training, so I could do more champion training to get Corpulent Cadaver up and maybe do another episode tomorrow or the next day, and we could do a damage comparison difference. Because that would be cool. I think I want to take the day off champion training though, because I've done so much of it to get Wixwell, and now we got another champion training event. Give me a break, Plarium. I mean, the thing is that, I'm a big boy. I'm in charge of when I run champion training stuff. If I want to take a day off this game, I take a day off this game. I mean, obviously, I took what, a week off making videos, or 4 days. When was the last episode anyway? Was it day 142 or 144? I mean, this is going to be whatever the previous one is on the channel. But anyway, I have put stuff off enough. I think we can get to. I think we can get to the building the champions. So I'm going to start with Wixwell, because he's the one that's the most important to get the cooldown refresh on, because he actually extends the shields. He's the only one that extends the shields. So increases the value of shields on all allies. And he extends the duration of the buffs. Now this might actually fail because I'm missing that one book. That's the one thing that worries me. There'd be times where it could succeed because of RNG, but it will fail. It will be guaranteed to succeed once I get enough books. Once I get 5 books into the right spot. And really, I only have to worry about 6 books going into the wrong spot before I get to here. It'd be good to book this too, because this on a 4-turn cooldown means he's frequently coming in with the intercept. Otherwise, I have to worry about blocking debuffs or cleansing debuffs, which I am fairly certain I could do with... Who would be a good cleanser on a 3-turn cooldown that I actually have? That doesn't involve also having legendary books. Because White Queen Ancora, I think hers is on a 3-turn cooldown, if fully booked. Or, yeah, I was going to say, or we run her at 4-3, but it occurs to me that doesn't work either, because then she outruns her buffs. And you don't want anybody faster than the buff extenders. Also, I didn't mention this last time. I built the absolute best bolster pieces that I had on her. Even though I haven't 6-starred her yet, she's already one of the best champions on the account. Because she is in a bolster set, she's running at 203 speed. I just managed to get really lucky on some of the rolls for bolster pieces. I got a nice HP percent here. I got good stats here and here. It's like double speed roll, double speed roll. Anyway, again, Gavin, stop it. Stop distracting yourself with other things and get on task. So, here we go. We're going to do Vault Keeper Wixwell first. Actually, before we do that, I just want to make sure I'm not completely overloaded on stuff. Curing shields, I swear I've sold like maybe 2,000, 5,000, I don't know, 15,000 of these over the last couple of days. If I never see another curing shield again as long as I live, I could probably die a happy man. Just because I was farming 12-3, and I just lied to you people, I'm sorry. I'm going to distract myself one last time by talking about one other aspect of the game. So I was farming 12-3 Brutal, and it occurred to me just at the end of this, I've been looking for really good speed boots, and what I should have done is go to Nightmare 6-6 and campaign farm this area. It would have been slightly less efficient, probably would have used all my gems, but I'd get a chance at a 6-star speed boot each time. And I still kind of want to run this. So maybe when I do champ training this time to try to get one of these really good champions, I mean, I would absolutely love for it to be this guy or this guy. You know I love Fenax if you watch my arena videos. He's maybe my favorite epic in the game. This would probably be the best epic for this account though. This guy for DPS just completely busted because of his passive. He places an HP burn. It can be on a 3-turn cooldown. He places weaken, and then his passive just increases he takes tons and tons of damage. Every time any boss takes a turn and does damage, they take damage back, and he does damage mitigation on top of it all. It's completely amazing. So, you know, they're really great champions here. She would be completely great for Fire Knight. But anyway, let's build the champions then. There's nothing left to do. Nothing left to distract me with. So what I need is reflex. So do I have reflex speed boots? I do. I remember that from last time. So we either have crit damage res or we have attack percent res. Let's try, and here's another nice thing about running campaign farming for so long. I got to 72 million. I have enough silver to do just about anything I want with this account. So I'm going to roll both of the speed boots up to 12, and here's why. I want to see if I get a useful substat on either of them before deciding which one to invest in. So I got crit damage here as well, so that's interesting. And this got defense percent. Defense is going to matter too, because we want the shields to take as little damage as possible. So as for which one I'm going to take, I'm not sure yet, but here, I'm going to go to the fitting room. I might even unlock the equipped stuff and just look at what else I can grab from other champions. I am prepared to steal from any champion to make this work. In terms of speed, like I said, I want to get to at least 170. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I mean, that's got a little more resistance on it, but that's not going to matter. So it would probably end up being this one. This could get rolled up to 40 speed. I'm just going to equip it now, and we will bear in mind that I could get 12 more speed and get this to 140 or 142. Hang on, did I just trick myself? Yeah, we can get 14 more speed. So yeah, we could get to 142. I want an attack chest. That's probably the best thing. But it could be anything, because defense can be useful. I really don't like res too much. This at least has crit rate on it. How much crit rate does it have on it? Quite a bit. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, maybe we'll try this on. For gauntlets, wow, crit damage with crit rate. This is the dream gauntlet right here. And then we've also got speed. Wow, we got speed and crit damage on a crit rate gauntlet. So I'm going to go with the faster gauntlets for now. These ones are faster. But if I need the extra crit rate instead, I could swap to this one. We'll just have to see how it rolls. I'm having trouble getting enough crit rate. It's like there's almost no crit rate on anything, and I also want speed. So this shield, I'm just going to go all in on this shield because it has crit rate and it has speed. I'm just going to roll it straight up to 12. Really nice assortment of rolls too. I got two in crit rate. I got 1 in speed. Do I get any crit damage here? That'd be super awesome. No, that would have been cool. But even HP can be handy. So now I have at least a full set of reflex. I probably have enough reflex to do at least one more champion in reflex. I don't know if it's going to be Valerie or Malkith. Maybe I'll make it Valerie. I also have to figure out who's equipping the shield set. I want somebody to start with a shield set because this is important. There are 2 different shield buffs in this game. You get one shield buff from abilities and you get another one from gear. So somebody has to be bringing the shield buff. And it can't be Vault Keeper Wixwell. So let's see, what else? I don't like these. None of them even have speed on them. The chest piece also doesn't have speed on it. Cruel is a nice subset. What else is a nice subset? Slayer has crit rate and crit damage on it. That might be even better than Slayer. Or not better than Slayer. This is Slayer. Better than, well, you know what I mean. The one we were just on, Cruel. I do have a lot of Cruel pieces, though. We could also get like a 2-piece Divine Speed, and then we have a little bit of shielding on him. And it all stacks anyway. This is not a bad idea. And here's something that really I should have been doing from the get-go. I often like to rank order things by speed. Sometimes I rank order things in priority stats by crit rate. I could even do both at the same time just to look for something that's got the best combo of both. But it looks like nothing has both. It's kind of an either-or thing with these. So this would increase the crit rate. I'm not going to worry about crit capping them for now. I'm going to take as much crit rate as I can, but really I want to reach the ideal speeds. So let's see. We could have the weapon. Can we get lucky and get a little more speed on it? Wow. I'm astonished that I'm getting the rolls in the right places today. Usually I don't get them. And that's fine. I mean, they didn't have to be in the right place. I was just sort of hoping they might be. I could even... Well, this has crit rate on it, so you know what? Let's take it. I'll roll it straight up to 12. And we didn't get lucky. But we've got above 170. So honestly, this could be a pretty good set. It has the divine prefix. It has the divine prefix on it. So we've got speed plus, and we have a shield on just Wixwell. So again, we either have to have a divine set on absolutely everybody, or we have to have a shield set on somebody. For now, I think as far as proof of concept goes, this is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this now. That actually shoots us past the speed we're aiming for, because I said between 170 and 190. And if I add 14 to that, I'm actually at above 190. So maybe I'll just leave it for now. I'll just equip this stuff. I'm not too worried about the speeds. And I'm not too worried about losing silver because of equipping the wrong things, because it really only costs about 1 million silver to change around an entire champion, and we got 70 million to work with. I think we'll be fine. So what I want is maybe crit damage. Go to the fitting room again. Crit damage on the amulet. So this has it. I want as much attack as possible as well. I mean, this looks good, and this is mostly built. So why don't I just try this on? Crit damage is probably the best thing on any clan boss champion, really, because you want that crit damage up. So I'm going to put a crit damage amulet on him. For the ring, I probably just want to do priority attack total. And like that's attack with attack percent on it. Do we have any special ones? You know what? If I could get 2 different pieces of Slayer artifacts, but I can't. It's really just the one. So never mind that. But that would have been cool, because I could have got like plus 5% crit rate and then plus 15% crit damage off the 2 pieces. If you can get 3 pieces, you can even get the extra speed. But that does not appear to be in the cards for me. So I'm just going to take a good ring. It's like I haven't even rolled any of these up. Do I have one equipped on somebody? So Armiger has one. He could keep that one. Let's roll this one up to 4. and see if I get attack percent. And I do. Okay, let's roll it. Oh my god, what's wrong with me today? Let's roll it up to 8. And we didn't get it. I'm still going to try it on though, because I have a feeling that I'm probably not going to get a double attack roll on any of these, but I can certainly try. Here, I can give this one 2. Nope. How about this one? I didn't even specify attack percent either. It just looks like a lot of these happen to have it. Ooh, we got a double. Okay, so let's try this one on. Why is that still worse? That's a double attack roll. That's a single. Oh, it's not an attack piece. That's why. So this has a main stat of attack. It has a substat of attack percent. That's probably going to be the best one then. Unless this one rolls particularly well. It super didn't. So last but not least is the banner. I can prioritize speed on the banners, I suppose. And actually, you know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to prioritize attack on the banner, and we'll just insist that it has speed. I could even say primary attack. And that really narrows it down. So, and this has a counterattack chance on it. Mind you, Wixwell puts counterattack on himself, so the counterattack aspect of that isn't even going to matter. It might be cool in other contexts. This one, it really won't matter. So I might even save that for someone else. So let's get this up to 12. We got 2 speed rolls, and we got an attack percent roll. I love it. Let's just roll it straight to 16. This is the banner. This is the banner for my main man, Wixwell. So we're up at 189. That's like the ceiling of what I was aiming for. So we don't even have to glyph him. He's just going to go first. I think that's okay, unless we need a cleanser going first. I'd love to get his defense a little higher. That's something we can work on at another time, though. Again, this is the proof of concept, right? So he's running at 189. He's got a little bit of shielding on himself. I'm going to equip it, and that's Wixwell done. And that also means that when it comes to the masteries, sometimes you like to have the Lore of Steel to increase some of the stat increments, but because he's got a speed set on already, I'd actually want to not take that. So the masteries I'll go over next time, since I don't have the scrolls for it this time. But that's Wixwell. So Wixwell's done. I want to quickly go over the index. So we got Malkith, because this is going to determine who gets the shield set. Really, I want the biggest shield possible. So they're going to have an HP based stat. It's probably Malkith. He probably has the best HP, but I don't know. 16k? That's worse than I was expecting. I would have thought that he'd have something closer to 20, maybe at least 18, but like 16.5k? I don't love that. Then we have Valerie. She's a Banner Lord. She's going to be lower. I mean, she's a rare, and she's not even... 15.8. She's not even that much lower. That's kind of funny. So she could totally be the one in the shield set, just because like she really has support champion written all over her. So then we got Xeno Gray. Xeno Gray has 17.3. I could put her in a shield set, but that seems kind of dumb because I feel like really she's going to be the main DPS. So I'm going to want to make sure to prioritize attack on her. So the other one we can look at, this is the other kind of end game champion I'm thinking for the clan boss team. It's Undead and it's Corpulent Cadaver. And he's got 20k. So maybe Corpulent Cadaver is the one that we want in the shield set. Maybe that just makes the most sense. I might even run him now, just for the proof of concept. Because it kind of... It's important that I get the shield set on the right champion, right? And I think it's going to be Corpulent Cadaver. So let's go ahead and put him in a shield set. So he'll be next. So filter, we'll go with fitting and equipped. I like to just select these so that I have the option of taking absolutely every piece of gear I possibly can. We're going to be looking at shield. And I probably want to prioritize by speed. I might also want to prioritize by HP, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at anything with a primary stat of HP percent. And these are going to be the most important ones. So we've got gauntlets, 5-star gauntlets at HP percent. This one, this one. This has a little bit of speed on it, so I think I like these better. Especially if I could actually get a roll going into speed. I can't. Also has crit damage on it, which is better than nothing. Like, substats on this one really suck. That's really too bad. But this one, I like. So I'm going to roll this straight up to 16. We get a 50% boost to HP. So I'm going to try these on. I want to do the same with the boots. These have a speed substat. These have a speed substat. You can see which one rolls better. It's this one. Cool. So I'm going to roll this up to 16. And now I want to see if I can just get him... And really, any speed is fine. He doesn't actually have to reach the speeds that the other champions are going at. He doesn't have to reach 170. It'd be nice if he could, though. Because I want everybody going at 1-to-1 so that they at least have an opportunity to attack as often as possible. Come to think of it, Xeno Gray puts increased speed on the whole party, which is going to throw things off anyway. I just realized this. So the party is going to be going faster than 1-to-1. This should still be fine, as long as all of the champions go at a pretty metric rate, where they make sure to increase the buffs at the same rate, increase the duration of the buffs at the same rate, so that nobody outspeeds anybody else. So this is the only HP chest we've got from this category. It's only a 4-star piece. Doesn't even have any speed on it. So I would love to just take that from literally any other set. So I could say, okay, hide set filters, and we'll specify chest pieces. Oh, the best one that I own is actually from the bolster set, eh? Well, I'm not taking it from her. She gets to keep that. So it will be... I can insist on it being a 6, though. So, well, this is from the speed set. So I'd at least get a speed bonus if I can pair it with another speed piece. I think I'm actually fine with this plan. So I'm gonna roll this up and try it on. We want to get as big a shield to start as possible on this guy. Yep, that's how we're gonna do it. And so now we just need the top 3. I want to prioritize by speed still. We could just specify speed substats. We could specify HP percent substats. I wonder if that'll land us anything. It actually will. That's very cool. Okay, so we got 2 shields to choose from. I'm going to roll both of them up to 8 to see which ones get a nice combination of speed and hit points. That's got more speed. That's got more hit points. I guess I'm going to favor speed. Let's see. I mean, this is legendary anyway. Did we get any more speed rolls? No. We get a very eclectic bunch of whatever. But this is not going to outspeed this. And we did get more HP on this. So this is going to be the best one at this point. That's got speed. That's got speed. This looks like a better overall piece. Let's just roll it up to 8. And we got lots of speed. Excellent. What do we get if we roll it up to 12? Crit damage as well, eh? I'd love to, he needs a lot of crit rate. I might even want to replace this with crit rate gauntlets just to get the big hits coming off him. But again, right now we'll just say proof of concept. We just make sure it works. So this does not have any pieces with both. I like that as a piece though. I wonder if we just want to take this weapon and then just take this helmet. Especially if it rolls well. Does it? So we got some HP on it. If we take this as the weapon, it's a little faster. It's got a little more HP. But what if I just take this requirement away and say, okay, but what about helmets? Just helmets. And that's got a lot of speed on it. I do like that. There's honestly, we're getting like triple his HP as it is. So maybe I'll just take this. A nice little plus 11 to speed. I could even eliminate anything that doesn't have speed on it. Let's just take this. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to prioritize hit points. Everything needs to be hit points. Come to think of it, I mean, maybe I want crit damage on the amulet again, just for the sake of damage, right? But that's got speed and HP on it. That's almost certainly what I want. Oh, I can't do that yet. I can't even do it because I haven't maxed out this champion yet. So I apologize for my lack of foresight, guys. There's so much to do in this game when it comes to champion building. But this will still be here when I finish building this guy, I don't know, tomorrow or the next day. So we'll bear in mind I can get him a little bit faster, but even at 162, he's probably fine. Let's just give him a ring. Like this one looks like it could roll really well. That's good enough for me. Try it on, equip, and we're done. We got our corpulent cadaver all set up. I have not done the maths on this, but at this point, if I want to do 1-to-1 damage and the clan boss is running 170, but we're running with increased speed on us, we're definitely running faster than 1-to-1 with the increased speed buff. So we should be fine. Also, he's got a defense 15% in all battles. It's nice to have an aura that works everywhere, and I don't think they have any. Yeah, these three don't have an aura. And her aura is specific to dungeons. So yeah, it's actually just as well that we get the extra defense from Corpulent Cadaver. So this is going to work out very well. He's going to be our leader. So that's 2 down. I'm gonna redo Xeno Grey Blade Master last. I just want to make sure our buff extenders go next. So let's do. Do we want to do Malkith next? I guess we'll do Malkith next. So for Malkith, I mean, it's really interesting. He's the sort of champion I'd actually be tempted to build in regen, just because he's a good reviver for elsewhere. I'd be having him do double duty. But for the sake of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him in maybe a 2-piece of Divine. I also want him cycling through his moves faster, right? Or do I want the reflex on Valerie? Let's put the second reflex on Valerie. We'll do Valerie first. So, fitting room equipped, and we'll go for priority speed high, and I want reflex, So the first thing we want is the boots, unless we can get even faster boots from elsewhere. Then the crit rate gauntlets, almost certainly, because those are going to be really good. How good is the speed off this? Ooh, super lucky. Let's take it. Then there's no speed on anything else. So this has some crit damage. This has crit damage. She's got crit rate gauntlets, so crit damage is probably the yeah. I'm not even gonna. Okay, I'll try rolling this one and see what happens. I mean they're both good, but this is probably the way to go. That is a lot of extra crit damage. I like it. So we'll take this. I'm gonna go ahead and just roll this one all the way up to 16 right now, just so that we can max out the crit rate. 60% crit rate. I probably shouldn't have done that, just in case we find enough crit rate on other stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm getting impatient. We've only got about 25 minutes left before I want to break for lunch, so I want to make sure we get this going. She's up to 165, which is probably not close enough to Wixwell currently, but we can go to the Divine Speed again. There's no chest pieces, and the helmets don't have speed on them. At this point, because I'm running a shield set on the team, it's probably fine. We probably don't have to do that. So instead, I could just look at 2 speed pieces, make sure they're going fast enough, just take 1 from each. So, I mean, maybe I should have taken the one that I gave Corpulent Cadaver. Maybe. What else do we have here? And you know what? Equipped stuff is actually kind of overwhelming me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get rid of the equipped stuff. This is the fastest thing. I don't love these main stats. Maybe the defense percent's reasonable. Come to think of it, it probably is. Valerie's probably the squishiest champion anyway. It might make sense to give her just a little bit of extra defense on the low end. Because if we can get her defense to 2,000, we don't have to worry about her being the weakest link on the team. So that's got attack percent and speed. I guess I'll go with this one. So we got lucky again. We got 1 speed roll. That's perfect. So her defense, not ideal, but then again, we don't have her her jewelry on yet. So let's see. I want to make sure she has the absolute best speed. So prioritize speed high. This has a speed roll on it. It'd be nice to have her counterattacking a little more often though, which she could actually get from this. So I tell you what, I'm gonna roll this one up too. We got a speed roll on it. I'm gonna roll this one up an extra 1. And it didn't roll an extra speed. Maybe I'll max this out. We'll just see where this lands. It didn't get a speed roll. So this is going to be a really good banner for someone, but it doesn't have to be hers. This has the better defense anyway, because defense is the main stat, so I can kind of crank her towards that 2,000. Even better if I just take it all the way to 16. So yeah, I mean she's at damn near 2,000 now. And she's at 207 speed, and that's okay, because there's actually room to increase Wixwell's speed, because I didn't fully roll up his boots. Come to think of it, I should probably have not fully rolled up her boots. For the same reason, right? Whoops. Whoopsie. But again, I don't think it's a problem running this team too fast, as long as they are the same speed as one another. So we'll take away the speed thing. I want to go with, I think at this point I don't even care. Yeah, you know what? I don't even care about the substats anymore. I mean, I could say defense total, because why not? Maybe make sure her shield doesn't get busted. Slayer pieces are also a neat idea, because we could get crit rate, crit damage, and speed off them. We have like one. We have one Slayer piece. It still increases her crit rate by 5. I'm tempted to do that, but I would like crit damage if possible as the primary, and that does exist. Like Rathalos has it right now. I'm tempted to take it from him, but I'm not going to, because he is a very important DPS champion in other areas. I think we're probably, I don't know. This is a good opportunity to roll this all the way up to 16 anyway, though. So here, I'll roll it all the way up. I could try it. Particularly if Rathalos isn't making it onto the team. The thing is, Rathalos could make it onto the team. I could run him instead of... I can't really run him instead of Corpulent Cadaver, though, because Corpulent Cadaver is the one that has the shield set, which is maybe why the shield set should go on Malkith. I just don't love that idea either. So for the ring, like this is just a really good ring. I roll it up to 12. What do we get? We get attack percent. We get defense percent. It's got HP as a main stat. So this ring is kind of all over the place, but at the same time, having stats a little all over the place on her is fine. Like this is a good stat array, I think. So I'm going to equip it, and we're going to get on to Malkith. So here's where I make a decision. Do I want to try? Do I want to try a shield set on him? Or do I want to try to just get him running Reflex again? Because if I get all three of them running Reflex, I think it's going to be super difficult for me not to keep the buffs up. Because at that point, every single time any of them goes, they get that 40% chance. Plus, he's not really going to be running any of his other moves. Like this one is just a revive. This is probably going to be switched off because my champions ideally shouldn't be dying. And I think if they're not dying, I don't even have to switch it off. He just won't use it because it revives 2 random allies and then it places shield on revived allies. I assume that means this only works if you have dead allies. So it's particularly good to have reflex sets on champions that only have one ability that goes on cooldown. So for now, this might seem excessive, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put him in the 3rd reflex set. So here's the first question. Do I have any reflex pieces that have speed on them? Because if I don't, that's actually going to make it really awkward to reach the right speed. Not necessarily impossible, but it'll make it very awkward. I could try this on right now. It looks like I don't have any though. So I could try on just 4 pieces. It doesn't matter which 4. I could even try my luck with some of them. Like I could roll this one up to 12 and see if I get lucky and get a speed. I didn't. But I could still use that as the gauntlets because I like the main stat defense. This one, could try rolling it up to 12, see if I get lucky and get a speed. I don't. And again, we could try rolling them all the way up to 16 to see if we get lucky, but that really is a very gambling heavy way to do this. The boots will be from another set because I won't have speed boots. The shield has crit rate on it. I like that. Let's just roll this up to 12. We even got some crit damage off it. That's cool. Would have been nice to get some speed. His speed is so low. That's going to be a problem unless we can get a really good banner and really good boots. So primary speed. I mean, these are all pretty much the same. Show me the equipped ones. I don't think I'm going to be stealing these from anybody. I mean, for now, I mean, that's got a little bit of crit rate on it. I think we could just steal his boots for now. We could probably even steal a nice set like this. Like Diabolist, I don't really think she is terribly important anymore. She used to be the fastest champion, but now that's Eastrid. I'm wondering if I just want to steal these boots from Diabolist, just to make sure I get the biggest speed boost here. Then I want a helmet, right? So we can prioritize by speed. And once again, I'm looking at all these helmets that I gave to other champions. Maybe I just want to take the one from Corpulent Cadaver. And then Corpulent Cadaver could have, say, this one. For now, I'm going to do it. So that gets him up to 167. I still want to see... Actually, let's just go prioritize speed, high. We got a triple speed. Oh, that's excellent. That's what he wants for sure. So that gets his speed to 190. That's good. That's probably the right neighborhood. I think we're in the right ballpark for speed. So we want maybe crit damage on the amulet. I kind of hate all of these substats. Amulets are often a problem for substats. I'm just going to roll this one up to 16 and try it on. Defense is above 2,000, so he's not going to be the weak link in the team. And he's kind of lacking on HP. That's the first thing I'm noticing. So never mind. We'll get a ring, and we'll prioritize by HP total. And you know what? I really like the idea of taking a number of these. He can at least have this one. I think I gave all the really good ones to Skullcrown, who's in the same faction as him. But we can just give him this ring. I like these rolls. Let's equip it. I think we're just about ready to run the proof of concept team. So he is at 190. Wixwell is at 189, right? He's at 189. And I did get Valerie a little faster, didn't I? So she's at 207. That's maybe a little too fast. We could actually just bring her speed down by giving her something else. Maybe on the chest piece. I do like the defense percent though, but I could give her like just a slower helmet. Like filter. What doesn't have it? And preferably, you know what? We could just be idealized and say, all right, we need more crit rate and crit damage, right? Does that describe anything? Yes, it does. And this doesn't even have that. So her speed of 196, I like this. The speeds are starting to really homogenize. So her speed's 196. We go back to Corpulent Cadaver, and we just give him his helmet again. So filter, we're looking for helmets that have speed. So this is the best one. So we got our shield set on our Corpulent Cadaver. Oh, and you know what? I'm not done. We got to do Xeno Gray. I got excited there for a minute, folks. I apologize. But with Xeno Gray, we're just going to get the absolute best damage we possibly can. Like right now, she's got the crit. I mean, honestly, all we really needed to make sure of is that she isn't constantly using her Relentless bonus. But we might as well look at anything that's going to improve her damage, which is probably going to be not Killstroke, because we definitely don't have enough pieces. It'll probably be like we could just stack a ton of Cruel on her, because Cruel does have that plus 15% attack and ignores 5% of enemy defense. But it would be really cool if I could get Savage going on her. I don't know why I can't find my Savage pieces. There they are. So let's go with crit rate. Because I recently changed around a bunch of gear and I put Foley in Stone Skin, and I think before that he was actually in Savage. So his old Savage gear should just be here, kind of rolled up. I can't remember which pieces they were. There's also a really good crit damage gauntlet somewhere, and I'm wondering who got it, because I don't think it's her. I think she's got crit rate gauntlets. She must. I mean, 130% crit rate is just an insane number of crit rate. You just don't need it that high. This attack piece was almost certainly the chest piece. The boots were probably attack, come to think of it, but we have speed boots here. I do like that. So it looks like we absolutely are getting the best pieces that we want. So let's see. Primary, I want crit damage. These are the gauntlets. Wow, look at the difference in damage. I'm losing a little bit of crit rate. I think I'm okay with this. We just need something else that's going to be really good at... we'll take anything that has both would be super cool. Defense percent, is that going to be important? Maybe. I don't want her to be too squishy. Like a defense of 1588 is maybe on the low side. But we can bear in mind, I have a nice defense chest just in case I want to make her a little tougher because she's dying. But I'm going to try not doing that for now. This cranks up her speed by quite a bit, cranks up her crit damage. We lose a tiny amount of crit rate. I think I'm okay with that. The maths kind of work out in the plus, as far as I'm concerned. So we got 5 pieces of Savage and 1 piece of Cruel. So basically I just want to replace a Cruel piece with something that's going to improve things. So that's better speed. I got some really good pieces. I think this is our best piece though. So let's just roll it all the way up to 16, and assuming it doesn't roll completely terribly, it's probably our piece. So we get a little more crit damage, a little less crit rate. 72% crit rate would be fine, I think. Speed's probably fine as well. I love the 252% crit damage. She's going to have big hits. So here we go. She's in a DPS build. I'm not going to worry about optimizing her too much right now. Come to think of it, I didn't even look at the jewelry. So we got accuracy. And you know what? Accuracy for Ultra Nightmare, we actually want our accuracy to be at about 230 to land her debuffs. That's going to be important. Not only that, but I think does she land decrease attack? She does. So we don't have to worry about Wixwell's accuracy. But Wixwell probably is going to have enough accuracy, particularly if we give him a blessing. So the blessing will be Cruelty. because I like being able to decrease that defense. So we're going to give him the cruelty. And Xeno Gray then. I really wish I had a little more accuracy on you, my lady. So let's see. Filter, fitting room, equipped, just primary accuracy. I don't have any 6-star pieces, so she's already got the best piece that I can possibly get there. Could try for a chest piece. Or I could just put on a perception set. Perception will definitely get us there. But that kind of dips into the savage pieces that we got. That's rough. Okay, primary stats, we'll go with accuracy. No. No, priority stats accuracy. That's how we do it. So priority stats accuracy, this one brings us up by 18. Other stats drop a bit. That actually has more crit rate on it. I kind of like that. So let's see. That adds a bit more accuracy. I mean, I could even just try glyphing up the stuff. Upgrade, enchant, accuracy glyph. So that gets a +5. Could try that on. This one. We could enchant this with an accuracy glyph. We could also enchant them with some speed glyphs if I'm not happy with her speed, but really I just want to make sure she's got enough accuracy. So she's taking a bit of a dip in the damage, but now this 221, that is a lot closer to what we want. So even though this is kind of a dip in all the other stats, I'm pretty happy with it. Come to think of it, I probably could have just looked for a main stat accuracy here. It's fine. I'm going to say close enough. I think it's proof of concept time, boys and girls. And by boys and girls, I think I mean boys. I looked at the demographics data lately, and it reported back that 100% of my viewers are male, which I find really interesting. Like, surely not 100%. How do you guys know? I mean, on my account, I don't remember specifying that I was a male, so how do they know? But I'm going to say boys and girls anyway, just because I don't want to offend anybody. I'm sure there's like going to be one girl at some point that's gonna show up, and if you're that girl, you're welcome here. You're as welcome as the boys are. That's right. Equal opportunities here. So we're gonna go to the clan boss, and I'm just gonna go straight into trying Ultra Nightmare. Let's just see if it works, because we also want to get the 1 key on Nightmare. We don't have it yet. And come to think of it, just for fun, let's see what we're getting from Nightmare. This is from a top chest in Nightmare. This sucks. This is not what I want to see coming from Nightmare. But from Ultra Nightmare, let's run the team. So I'm going to make a new team. Maybe I shouldn't trash that one. Maybe I should make a new temporary team. So here's what I'll do. We got to start with the Corpulent Cadaver. Then we have our buff extenders. I don't think the order we place them in matters. So for argument's sake, I'm just going to put them in this order. So we'll use this. Corpulent Cadaver. Disgusting Display. Places a shield on this buff, on this champion equal to yada yada. And then grants an extra turn. That's cool. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this. Come to think of it, he's not ascended yet. I should ascend him just for this. So I'll say open with it and then don't use, because after that, I'm just going to want him attacking with his A1 so that he has the best chance of just adding the shield value to it. So I'm going to save this, and before I forget, I'm going to take him to the tavern, and I'm just going to ascend him. Max, sure. In fact, if we max him, he can even have a banner. And really, he should have a banner. It really is a shame his crit rate is so low. And you know what? Because he's the shield set champion, I almost think the way to go is actually make the primary stat this HP. I'll even fully max this out. I got a nice HP piece. What does this roll if we roll it to 12? Like, again, I'm not going to go too crazy. This is the proof of concept thing. This isn't going to be the max damage we can do on this account. This will just be the maximum damage that I can do today. So we'll go to Ultra Nightmare and back to the team. The new team. I'm going to call this UNM proof. And I just heard my girlfriend open the door to her office, so it means it's lunchtime. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this going, and I'm going to go have lunch. But I'll be back at the end of the video to kind of wrap up what happened. So, Corpulent Cadaver is done. Wixwell. Wixwell probably has to cycle through both. We want the intercepts to stop the debuffs. So we're going to want to prioritize this, though. This has to be the one, because we have to be able to extend the shields at all times. But we do need somebody placing a shield at the start of the fight. And I think that has to be Wixwell. So this is going to be his opener, and it's also going to be his 2. Because he's at speed 189 then, Malekith goes a little faster, so Malekith might actually want to open with something else, but then again, it kind of doesn't matter. So this is going to be his 1, so that he can extend the buffs, but I might have him open with this, just so he can go, really, he should go after Wixwell. That's kind of the thing. And you know what? I can manage that very quickly right now. I could just say, okay, we're going to upgrade his boots by 1 level so that his speed is now 2 faster. That way I don't have to do anything silly like ruining the order of these champions. So Wixwell now goes at 190. Malekith goes at 190. Well, this should be fine. So Wixwell is higher up on the turn order, so this should be fine. We don't have to open with this. We can just use the Hemo Bomb. Valerie is also faster. Man, maybe I need to crank up his speed a little more then. So we probably won't even use this. Places a shield on all allies. Oh man, maybe we could use hers. Maybe we'll just use hers then. And come to think of it, on Wixwell, then he doesn't need to place shields. Okay, yeah. So we don't need to open with this. It's actually going to be Valerie. Valerie's going to go first. She's going to put out a shield on everybody. And so I wonder if really Valerie's the one I should build with the highest HP. Like Corpulent Cadaver, he's got more HP. I mean, he's just a 5-star, and he's already got more HP than anybody else on this team. But ultimately, I'm thinking maybe it really should be Valerie in the shield set, so that she can be the one that puts out the shield. And we then extend them accordingly. Anyway, so the protect thing is actually the opener. You open with this, and then you don't use it again. Because after this, I'm basically just going to want her running this as often as it possibly occurs, and I don't want this on cooldown at all. afterwards so that her reflex set has the best chance of using the energizing presence. Xeno, I'm going to have her open with... There's the increased speed, and I'd like to get that out as quickly as possible, but I'm wondering if I really just need to make sure we get the decreased attack out as early as possible so that his first attack doesn't break the shields. I'd be willing to bet that it won't, though. And this way we could have the increased speed on everybody. So I'm going to do it this way. That's going to be the 1. That's going to be the 2. I got to be careful here. I realize this says each hit increases this champion's turn meter by 5%. So I might have to make sure she's a little slower compared to the others, but it looks like she should be fine. Anyway, it's time to run that proof of concept, guys and gals. So here it goes. I haven't exactly speed tuned this using a calculator. You can always go to a clan boss calculator on the Deadwood Jedi website. That's usually the responsible way to build a clan boss team. But I think this should be okay. So that shield growth is actually pretty big. So the first hit didn't break the shields. We've got increased defense on everybody now. I didn't like that. He took a little too much damage there. And his shield's already busted. Oh no. So obviously I'm going to have to crank up the stats a lot more than this. I can still see if I can keep the others up. Because even if he drops, the other 4 should be able to keep up this this growth. No, the shields are not growing as well as I was hoping they would. Maybe my champions aren't fast enough. My girlfriend's wondering where I am now. So I'm gonna sit here and watch this play out, because I think it's not panning out. These shields are not growing. So obviously I've done something wrong. So we'll call this a video of how not to build it. I mean, I stand by the decisions I made when building these champions. And yeah, the shields have broken off, so this has not worked. So I'm wondering if I can run them at a 2-to-1 speed, if this can maybe make all the difference. So I guess that's what the next video is going to be about. I'm going to build out all these champions anyway. I am going to max out Corpulent Cadaver. I do believe that he could be good in this role. It's also possible I just need another support champion in place of a second DPS slot, and I could just have one champion doing DPS in Xeno Gray, since she's probably doing the lion's share of the damage anyway. The only way Corpulent Cadaver really does any damage is if this team can actually last something like 50 turns. And ideally more like 100 or 150 turns. So this is it. Xeno Gray, staying alive as long as she can. So she was the only one that really did any damage, but then again, I still don't have all the masteries for all the other champions. So, yeah. So I apologize for this. I had higher hopes for this, but it didn't pan out. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm hungry. I want to see my girlfriend. So I will see all the rest of you on the next video. I might upload another one tomorrow or the day after. It kind of depends on how long it takes me to figure this out. But I'm gonna solve this problem and get back to you. Anyway, take care of yourselves, guys.